Welcome to the Learn to RV podcast, where every mile is a lesson and every stop is an adventure.
Hey there. Welcome back to Learn to RV, the podcast. And guess what? You've reached the end of season 1. Yeah. I don't know that we ever expected to have the end of season 1, did we?
I don't know that we expected seasons.
That's true.
You know?
I thought we'd go from Hershey to Hershey every year, and that would be our seasons. But, life has a funny way of twisting and turning. And so we're just going to roll with the punches. And so, we're so grateful for each and every one of you that has tuned in this season, from the Community Spotlight series and having all of the amazing guests that have come on board with us to RV There Yet. Being able to sit around and talk, and feel like you're in our living room, so to speak, or a campfire. We couldn't do this without each and every one of you that's listening, and we're so very grateful for you.
Yeah. What has been your favorite thing that we've kind of done this last season, or the thing that has surprised you about being a podcasting host?
That one's hard.
I know, right?
I think it's learning everybody's journeys and hearing the stories from each other.
Yeah.
I actually can't wait to launch season 2, but that's a different, announcement. So you got to stay.
Jennifer.
Yeah. So when are we launching season 2? Is I guess
that's a different question, Jennifer.
So,
you're so excited. Just answer the first question. We'll come to the second question in a minute.
Okay. So I think
the stories
about people as we've traveled, and being able to interact with new people in Hershey, especially. That launch was super awesome. And being at the content creators event, all of that. It's all about the community for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I think the other thing that has been really interesting is learning while we're doing this. I feel like I have stretched myself in ways that I didn't know I was going to be stretched. Just, skills that I didn't know I needed to learn, or ways that I didn't know I could grow. I don't know. I knew that I was going to be a little bit more ready to speak in front of a microphone, but there are things that I had to learn how to do on a dime, or, just skills that I didn't know you needed to know to do a podcast. And so that's been really fun too. Things that I can put on a resume that I didn't know I was ever going to learn, So it's been really fun, meeting people and then talking to some of our guests and then being like, oh yeah, when we did that, we did this, this, and this. And, them telling me their stories of when they first started telling their stories, and, kind of comparing and contrasting how it's all fallen together. It's really fun. Getting to be a storyteller and then tell the story of being a storyteller to other storytellers. I don't know. It's just a really fun community to be a part of.
For sure. And so if you were doing it all over again, have you gone back and watched the first episode again?
No, I'm not going to. That's a hard pass. Now, I have seen the thumbnail and my hair looked phenomenal. I had some hair. Today, for those of you who are just listening, what you may not know is that I literally just got out of the shower. So I look a little bit like a drowned rat, but that's okay. We do what we can do, and that's the RV life. You get in when you can get in. But as for watching me talk on a microphone, no, I'm not going back and listening to, nor am I watching that. I'm sure it's a hot mess.
Well, and our listeners are probably thinking, why are we announcing the end of season 2 the Sunday before Tampa?
You mean the end of season 1?
The end of season 1. And so what they don't know, if you are on Patreon, you're going to get this message
early.
And what's great about it is you're going to find out what's coming next.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the same day, I think. Is it the same day? No, it's the following week, isn't it? So they got to stick around.
Calendar. This is where it gets so tricky, this whole scheduling and planning. I'm like, when do things go live? Let's see. So it will go live. Get out of my way, notes. Our Patreon will learn about it on January 18th. So it is January 18th where our Patreon listeners are. It is not January 18th where we are Patreons. But yeah, it's January 18th where they are. And it'll be January 25th where our live listeners are.
Yep.
So,
and by then, the craziness that's coming in our lives in the next couple of weeks will be it will be in the past. And so
it will.
I will be at the Tampa Super Show with Tasha for Monday and Tuesday.
2 days.
Monday, well, 2 days. Well, 1 day for you. So
No,
where's
2.
Tasha?
I'll
well,
be there
Mondays
Monday and Tuesday.
So Monday's the content creator event. So that's not actually at the Tampa show. And then Tuesday, you're going to be there for Industry Day. But then you're doing something really different and really special because we were invited to go do something.
Yes, I'm so excited. So we were invited to go to Podfest, which is an international annual
podcast event.
Podcast event. There's like a whole name for it. Actually, let me go to this other tab that's open on my computer because I am a tab connoisseur on my computer. It's the 2026 Podfest multimedia. I still can't read it because the logo is really small, but it's an event for podcasters, for people who are hosting podcasts, who edit podcasts, who specialize in marketing to podcasts. I mean, it is the entire industry, and it is one of the 2 largest annual podcasting events across the country. So it's really exciting. I am so jazzed. I am also thinking that I need to go buy more notebooks. I don't feel like I have enough notebooks or pens because they've been releasing the class schedule, and I don't think I have enough room for all the notes I'm going to be taking.
But you're going to come back and you're going to know so much more than we did about podcasting.
Yes, I am. And I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about meeting new people, getting their hot takes on how we can improve, what we can do to sound a little bit better, what we can do to edit a little bit easier, how we can help our audience engage more. I mean, I am an open book. I need them to fill the pages, So I'm ready. I am eager. I'm excited. We just yesterday, Matt and I sat down and we got the hotel booked. We got the rental car booked. We are ready to go. I'm jazzed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Can you hear my cat coughing?
I cannot. I do not hear the cat coughing. We're leaving that in. That is staying in for all of our podcast listeners. Is it Dixie or is it Honey Lemon?
It's Dixie. I had to kick Honey Lemon out, or you would see her crawling this back thing because she was coming up behind me and crawling up it before I started recording tonight. And so I was like, yeah, no, somebody needs to come get the kitten. So kitten has been removed from the bedroom.
Well, do you see my shirt while we're completely off topic? I wore my Jack's Mannequin shirt. It says everything in transit because we are transitioning to season 2. Look at me. I got a t-shirt for everything, y'all. No,
you really do.
I really do. But I'm really jazzed. So while I am at Podfest just soaking it in, you are going to be at Tampa.
So I actually am working on something behind the scenes right now to release tomorrow, which will be in the past by the time you actually see this. So I'm working on these Tampa Super Show checklist sheets so that you can print these off and take them to Tampa with you. And hopefully you found that before this airs, because otherwise this might be for next year.
Right.
But we want to give you the information and the tools that you need to go to Tampa, because Tampa is an incredibly huge event. And if you've been to Hershey, the fairgrounds are enormous. Mm-hmm. Tampa is just as big, if not bigger. 70,000 people usually come through the gates at Tampa. Yep. So it's quite an event. You're going to have influencers, you're going to have rigs of every shape and size, and Learn to RV is going to be there to catch some of the action. Obviously, we can't catch all of it because sponsored by RV Roofing Solutions, I'm in that booth. And so hopefully people will come around and come see me at the Tampa Super Show. But it's such an amazing event. It'll be such a fast week. It'll be fast paced, and there'll be so many amazing people. And who knows, maybe we'll even find those people for season 2 for our Community Spotlight series.
Right.
And we're still looking for writers for Learn to RV.
Yes. And you guys have 2 booths this year for RV Roofing Solutions, right?
Yep. So we are in the front booth at B125. And like I said, by the time this airs, you should have found us. But we'll be up by Rivet and all of the people, RV Help and a lot of those up in that front building. But back in the back building, I'm leaving my husband Frank, and so he'll be at A105, where we have been for 16 years as RV Roofing
That's
Solutions.
amazing.
Let me say that again. As RV Roofing Solutions. My tongue just stopped working. It happens.
Well, that's amazing. I'm hoping that between the two of us, we just come back with so much information. I'm hoping that I'm able to learn a lot, to be able to feed like the technical side, that I can meet some people who can maybe, I don't know who I'm going to meet there, but I've heard I'm going to meet a lot of people. So maybe I will meet some people who can come on the show and share some of their stories. We will see. But then also, I'm excited to see who you meet, because I know that when we were at Hershey, we met so many people that created openings for us to tell new stories for the podcast. I mean, stories that we didn't know. We launched at Hershey, but we didn't know those stories were going to come to us when we were at Hershey. And so we met people that just gave us so many ideas, or, partnered with us and wanted to be a part of what we were doing. So I'm excited to see who you meet and who you get to talk to whenever you're in those booths.
Well, I love how this podcast has kind of organically unfolded. Yeah. And, I think that that's an important part of this. It was never forced. It was never, yes, we had ideas, and no, we're not sharing with you everything we're doing in season 2 yet. But the reality is it's such an amazing community. But I think it's far reaching than that. Like my kids take out school. We're going to start thinking more outside the box in season 2. How can we bring the outside in and, bring the community of Learn to RV? Where does that take us? Like, the sky's kind of the limit.
Yep. So when we go into season 2, and you kind of touched on it, but let's talk about Learn to RV as a whole. Yes, season 2 of the podcast is getting ready to take off, but you kind of touched about we're still, we're always open for new writers over at Learn to RV, which is our parent group, company,
technically.
Company.
It's a heart project, but it's a heart project that someday will make money. So the nice thing about Learn to RV is you have writers. And so when you come on as a writer with Learn to RV, what I can do is give you a spot on the page that gives you a link back to your website. Or if you're a YouTuber, like we have suggested YouTubers on there, we have suggested podcasters on there. And so those links will help crawl your sites and help you get found too. There's lots of advantages to that. And I'm happy to have those conversations one-on-one or see where that takes you. We also have a community group in Facebook currently, and I don't know if it'll stay there. But right now that's where it is. And it's just a way to connect in real life, in real time, on a regular basis, just to be involved in each other's lives, not just within inside Learn to RV. So there's actual community that's happening behind the scenes.
Yes. So there's so many ways. If somebody wanted to get in touch about how they could maybe tell their story on Learn to RV, the website, if they wanted to look into sharing what they know, how do they reach out to say, hey, I'm interested in being a writer?
So that's still connect at learntorv.com. But if you want to be on the podcast, make sure you email podcast@learntorv.com. They come to two different people, so it helps us know which one you want to do.
And what does a commitment to being a writer for Learn to RV look like?
So once every 6 to 7 weeks, we're asking you for an article of some kind. And that can be pretty much anything you want it to be. What I'm hoping is that we have a 3-month plan in place so that we don't have to, any one person doesn't fall the burden on them. And so, and then we need to have it open to, hey, I'm going to such and such. But I am cool for Learn to RV, not everybody's a full-time RVer. And I really want to get back to the basics of that. While we are, it doesn't mean everybody's going to relate to that. So I'd love to have some items that are like product reviews. So if you're a company out there and you're looking for people to review it, you can reach out to us directly at Learn to RV, and then we can pass it off to one of our writers and they can benefit from it, especially if it's a product they've never used before. If they're like looking for just a way to be on the podcast, we do have a community spotlight just for people that want to advertise. So we are looking for other sponsors, and we do have at least a few sponsor spaces for the podcast going into season 2 still open.
Yep, we sure do. And, you know, I joke about this, but we would not be opposed to taking on a big sponsor who wants us to try out a new RV. I mean, put me in your toy hauler. I'll tell you what I think of it. But there is a link on the Learn to RV site for that. If you are not just for getting me in a new toy hauler, please don't think that's the only way that you can contact us. If you have a product that you want us to review, or, you know, if you want to team up with us and partner with us, there is a link that you can access on the Learn to RV site to get more information about that. Or you can stop by the RV Roofing Solutions booths at Tampa, which has already happened. Never mind. I hope that you did. I hope you got all the information you were looking for. And I hope that it just knocked your socks off. I'm sure that it was a great conversation with Jennifer. So let's talk about season 2 then. I mean, let's get into it. So season 2, I've pulled my little doohickey back up here. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to take just a hot minute to breathe once we've got all of this information. Once we've got Podfest download and we've got Tampa download, we're going to breathe for a minute.
And behind the scenes, what you may start seeing is some changes on the Learn to RV website. And so those are coming. And they're going to come kind of gradually over the next several weeks. And so by the time we actually are ready for season 2, can't tell you the date yet, but when we're ready for season 2, everything will be in place.
Well, we can tell them season 2, right?
I mean, I guess.
I've got the date in front of me, and it's going to be a fun one. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be a fun one. Can I tell them the date so that they know to come back? I mean, I want them to come back.
Are you going to wear coconuts, or is Matt going to wear coconuts?
It's definitely Matt. That is not a Tasha thing. He just put down his game and looked at me. I'm getting side-eye. I think he's doing it. Frank, signed up.
I mean, Frank's run around in a rainbow chicken. Frank might do it.
February 16th, y'all. You gotta come. You gotta sign up. You gotta not sign up. You gotta tune in. February 16th will be the launch of season 2 of Learn to RV, the podcast. Okay.
Is there an early drop for that week or no?
There is not an early drop. Season 2, February 16th will be the day that it goes live for everybody. And then after that, we will get back into our early drops. Everything will fall back into our pattern of Patreon users getting their early release. But season 2, episode 1 is going to drop. That's my sound effect for
I love that.
Dropping February 16th on the dot. So, gives you a couple weeks to rest, recover, and a couple weeks for us to hustle and, run around those rainbow chickens.
We could maybe put together a few things for our listeners in the in-between, kind of like the Upside Down, where they're going to be able to go back and listen to some other things. I think what we talked about was possibly putting some of our stuff that's on Patreon that our Patreon listeners got live for them in the interim. So, it's not like there won't be any content at all.
And we will see. And it will be a surprise. It'll be a present. Whatever it is that you get, you just hold tight to it and wait for us, because we will be back. It's like Santa Claus every year. You just gotta believe, okay? We will be back on February 16th. It'll be a whole new season, all great episodes, the same schedule that you love and know, and, just all new hijinks from the crew at Learn to RV, with hopefully new technological advances.
Yeah.
If we don't, I did not do what I was supposed to do at Podfest. That's just what it comes down to.
So you're looking for microphone sponsors. I got it.
Yes. I need microphones. I need new editing software and MacBook. Thank you, Podfest. I will be talking to you soon. No, that's that that is definitely that's on my to-do list is how do we improve? I recently edited an episode. It was a Patreon episode that we re-released as a public episode to help kind of bolster some interest in our friends over at Firefly Hills and their big hats in the bluegrass, right? And that one I did listen to. I listened to all the way through so that I could just make sure, like, is there anything that doesn't really fit? Is there anything that I need to take out? We really need some sound help. So that's what I'm going to be looking for at Podfest is how can we really make that prettier? And
are
also,
you going
how do
to
I
that
stop
event?
going? I am going to Big Hats in the Bluegrass, and I'm so excited. I'm going to make a big, fancy, derby Kentucky hat. Like, there will be hats, y'all. There will be hats. And they're going to teach us how to forage for food. And I know that sounds like end of the world. Like, when you say, I'm going to learn how to forage for my food. It makes, maybe I've read too many young adult fiction books about, like Hunger Games and things like that. My brain automatically goes like the end of civilization. But no, I'm going to learn to forage for food. And then what I think is really cool is that they're going to do cooking classes to teach you how to cook like gourmet meals with the food that you forage from the forest. I cannot even tell you how excited I am about this. I'm going to learn how to pick the mushrooms that you can eat and not die, how to tell blueberries from unalive berries. These are all very important things. So
I thought you were going to say dingleberries. So
I want to make sure that when I pick something up, it is food and not scat. Like, these are important skills to have if you're going foraging.
Not like Bruce from Finding Nemo, fish are friends, not food. Are you fishing too?
Exactly. I hope so. They have a huge pond on site that has ginormous fish. And last time I was there, I did not get to go fishing, but I did see some of the fish that got pulled from this pond, and they were massive. Like length of my arm, kind of big. So I want to go fishing because you get to keep and eat what you catch there. And that just looked like a tasty dinner to me, is what that looked like. So
that could be a whole series, but it would be the shortest series in Learn to RV history because
Tasha
Frank
catches a fish.
No, Frank doesn't fish very often, but when he does, it lasts 10 minutes and he's bored. So fishing with Frank could be our shortest series ever going to 2026.
That would be fishing with Frank. He put the reel on his shoulder and then he put it back down.
Or he threw it in the water and he pulled it back in and he walks away.
I'm excited. They're going to teach people how to build bat houses, which is really, really good for people who have property. I don't have property, but it's still a really cool thing to learn. And building forts. We're going to make piñatas for Cinco de Mayo. Like, I don't know.
That's fun.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I will be there. I am so excited. So it'll be fun. I hope lots of people show up. I mean, there can only be 15 families. So y'all better sign up if you want to go.
Well, and if you haven't signed up for Perry yet, there's always that option. Perry, Georgia is happening in March. And so by the time this airs, there's still time to sign up. And so that is an enormous event at Family RV Association, formerly FMCA. And so there's lots of reasons to join. There's discounts and all sorts of things. So stop by the FRVA booth if you're in Tampa. Oh, wait, that's over. Anyway, no, but if you're looking for a fun rally that's, kind of on your way back to wherever you're going in the spring, that happens mid-March in Perry, Georgia. So that's at frva.org, I believe. I have to think about that. But yeah, so
that is correct.
And I'm sure we'll be covering that because, for that,
Mhm.
we have been asked to be there. Obviously, we'll be there for the company for RV Roofing Solutions, but we've been asked to be there on behalf of Learn to RV as well. And so you'll have to
Yep.
tune into season 2 to find out what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm really excited. That'll be really fun. That'll be my first FRVA event as a
Oh,
member.
cool.
So I'm pretty excited to go. I don't know. There's just so many exciting things ahead of us. It's new year, new adventures. I'm excited.
New stories.
Yep, it'll be good.
So, and who knows where we're going? We're interested in your thoughts and your feedback. So make sure that you tune in and tell us what you'd like to see in season 2 that wasn't in season 1. Because we'd like to take a whole new direction this season. And so we may be even looking for a few guest podcasters to come on with Tasha and I during the season. Once in a while, bring on somebody that wants to chat with us through a whole episode. So that could be a fun way to do it. And
Yeah.
I'd love to find out if that's you. You don't have to have
Yep.
any podcasting experiences. You do have to have a computer with a microphone and hopefully a ring light that works.
And a
doesn't-
camera.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta
Yeah,
have a
because yours
camera.
didn't have a camera.
Oh no, it had one. It was just real bad. I looked like I was,
Pink.
you
Green?
know, sometimes I look like Violet from the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie. Sometimes I looked like an Oompa Loompa, and sometimes I looked like I was in the Emerald City from the Wizard of Oz. It really depended on the day. I never knew what the camera was going to do, and I could not figure out why it was doing it. So I invested in a new camera, and I at least look like a normal person again. I'm in Technicolor, I guess. I don't know.
Amazing Technicolor.
I'm in regular color at least.
Well, again, thanks for joining us in season 1. And I guess we should say that's a wrap.
That is a wrap on season 1 of Learn to RV, the podcast.
We'll see you next season.
Bye, guys.
Love what you're hearing? Subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And while you're at it, leave us a review.